My friends, hell hath no fury like a geek scorned. This past year has seen the demise of many mighty franchises, many of our beloved shared mythologies dashed on the rocks of corporate profits. When you are told by these companies that your dreams don't matter, your history doesn't matter, your legends don't matter, your dreams don't matter, you're being told that you don't matter. CBS is basically shelving 50 years of Star Trek history. I announced that back when I broke the news that from this point forward, the only official canon was going to include the Abrams verse and the STD abomination verse. That was going to be the sum total of Star Trek history, and the rest of it, an inconvenient memory to be jettisoned and eventually, if CBS gets their wish, forgotten. Their attitude now is, it's just a TV show. But they didn't have that attitude for the past 50 years when we were assured that Star Trek mattered, that we fans mattered, back when there was money to be made. And they made money by the truckloads, publishing concordances and histories and books expanding the universe, and calendars and toys and every variation ever invented to say, in one way or another, Star Trek matters. And we believed them. And now they think they can tell us no. All that was bullshit. STD is what really happened. Why the fuck should we believe them? They spent roughly 50 years telling us that Kirk and Spock and Picard and Sisko and Janeway, all of them mattered, and now they're saying no, all that is by the wayside. Now pay attention to Discovery and Mikey Spock, so why the fuck should we believe them now when they lied to us then? Once their love has been revealed to be of the false variety, levied at an hourly rate, charged by a jaded hooker that never looked at you as anything but a pathetic rube and an easy mark, should we be blamed for feeling rage when we get out of bed with CBS and find out we've come away with nothing but a tawdry SDD for all of our trouble? Are we toxic fanboys for not wanting to embrace again this thing revealed to be a false slattern, a disgusting broken down lie smeared thick with makeup, clad in the tattered parody of a Starfleet uniform? Does that make me a toxic fanboy or a disappointed lover? Star Trek was something we loved sincerely and was worthy of our love before she was bought by CBS, beaten for not bringing in enough money and turned out again to walk the streets for chump change, tricked out in tacky clothes and the hollow wooden smile of one who has had all the love beaten out of them. Hell hath no fury like a geek scorned. Did you think you could leave us after 40 years, Lucasfilm? After 50 years, CBS? And think we'd be fine with that? Great love turns into great hate when sorely pressed. You see, these were not just stories to us. For many of us, these shows were our myths, and they taught us how to be better people, and the lessons contained in these myths taught us a lot about values. Spock taught many of us who were isolated and lonely in our childhoods that it was okay to be different. It wasn't the end of the world to be lonely. Sometimes your loneliness was because you were surrounded by people who were not worthy of you. And Captain Kirk taught me what it was to be brave and to be a leader, and what it is to be a hero, and to be willing to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. Doctor Who taught me as a child that you could face the unknown with courage and a twinkle in your eye, which is a big deal when you're a little kid and everything is unknown. Luke Skywalker taught me about nobility and sacrifice. He was willing to surrender his life to turn away from the dark side and to redeem his father who had fallen into darkness. These characters live inside me, not as stories, but as threads in the fabric of my life. And so, the tapestry of my experience is being unraveled by companies who are telling me that these key stories of my personal mythology were lies. And what are CBS, Lucasfilm, BBC, and all the other violators of our sacred canon telling me now? Spock is a weak emo train wreck who had to be straightened out by a human stepsister he never had, who Sarek loved way more than he loved Spock. Kirk wasn't as good a captain as the wooden mutineer who wasn't even a captain on a show that isn't even Star Trek. The Doctor is so interchangeable that not only does he change identities, but he has absolutely no constant whatsoever that can define him. Not even his TARDIS, not even his sex, and thus he is no longer a bulwark against the unknown because he is become the unknown, and you don't even know what salutation to write on his or her Christmas card. And Luke, Luke, perhaps the unkindest cut of all. Because Luke is not merely being desecrated by revision into irrelevance. Luke is not simply being reimagined as a character contradicting his established past in a cheesy, stupid reboot. No. This is our Luke. In the actual series, with the original actors, in a direct sequel trilogy. And they're telling us that this Luke, our Luke, who proudly threw down his lightsaber, and though it meant certain death, told the Emperor, "No, I am a Jedi, like my father before me." And they're telling us that Luke was a traitor to everyone he loved, to the New Republic, to the galaxy, and to all of us. A coward who ran away from a nobody chump with a big nose who got his ass handed to him by an untrained girl and left him to destroy Leah's government, kill Han, and countless others across the galaxy. A despicable, bitter old man sucking on manatees and hiding on an island, eventually destroying the very legacy of the Jedi by sending the library up in flames, encouraged by Yoda. This is what Lucasfilm thinks of us. That we, who have internalized the lessons of Luke Skywalker, are just as craven and treasonous as this shell of a character. That we will betray our very memories of Luke and Star Wars just because we're told to. That we're feeble-minded enough to accept any lie that has the Star Wars logo on it. There are gullible fools who are exactly that pathetic, who have indeed accepted this pseudo-Luke, this dead Han, this hollow Leia, soulless pseudo-fans that belong on that island with Luke. And so I'll leave them there and say no more about these sad corporate shills. But as for me, as for us, I reject the devil and all his works. I reject these attempts to brainwash me, to tell me that what I believed all my life was nothing more than a convenient and profitable lie. My anger keeps me pure. My outrage keeps me strong. It is only my fury that burns these corporate scales from my eyes and allows me to see clearly that I was not wrong, and these cannot touch my canon, cannot desecrate my myths, so long as I hold strong and keep to the truth of Star Wars, of Star Trek, of Doctor Who, and all my heroes of the past. My rage keeps their fires burning in my heart. Hell hath no fury like a geek scorned, and hatred is but love by another name. And that's something idiots like Chunk Wendig and Kathleen Kennedy and Ruin Johnson and all their mindless little drones will never understand. From the center of the earth, this is Dicta Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.